Everyone loves music. Music is universal. Glamorous as it may seem, what really goes on behind the scenes? Things weren't always this good. Hi, my name is Azurah and I am an audio and music specialist. At a very young age, I fell in love with music, and ever since graduating from the LaSalle College of the Arts, I went into music as a career. I am a music educator whereby I teach music such as piano and ukulele. I chose to be a music educator because I get to inspire and spread joy through teaching music, even though it seems glamorous, but it's a lot of hard work. Some of the challenges that I face, aside from being a music educator, is that as an audio freelancer, there's a lot of failed business attempts. From those trial and errors that I get to learn from experience. When I met my current business partner, it was more of like I was still soul searching and finding the right people to connect with. But then when I found her, I realized that despite the age gap, we have a lot of similar pain points as a freelancer. And that was when we clicked. And because of that, the Freelancers Academy, TFA, was born. Some of the issues that we face as freelancers is like, firstly, we always have these negative connotations that freelancers, we do things for free. And they always have this idea, like society have this perception that, we are like amateurish, we don't know what we're doing. And as freelancers, right, we work alone. And when we want to, approach like larger companies or businesses, right, they tend to take it for granted, whereby they can easily kind of get away with not paying the freelancer or late payment and stuff like that, because essentially, just to put it out there that freelancers, we do take our profession seriously, and like any normal average career, right, freelancing is also a profession itself. The Music Society, SG that I am a part of, is basically a group or community of mostly musicians. As a musician myself, I could really easily relate to their struggles. For example, like their gig payments from like 10 years ago and now it's still the same. We know that, economy, we have inflation, so prices tend to rise. So why normal prices rise but our income or the gigs that people are paying remain stagnant? And I think because we are a collective, right, like community, so when we want to voice out or raise certain issues, we have a larger voice so that, people or like government can actually, look at us and, be like where we're coming from. So when the pandemic came, it came by surprise. I think all of us was affected, and especially for the music industry, for the gig performances, the musicians, right? Because there's no event, so their income is largely affected. And as a music educator as well, we have a period of time we cannot teach any students, so my income was largely affected. And at the same year, I was going to get married. When my income is affected, there was a lot of question mark on how I'm going to get that wedding coming during the same year. So there was a lot of things going on in my head, and because of that, it kind of forces me to find other solutions to gain income. Okay, so my family, they were really supportive, even though they are worried. I can see that they're worried because of the income that's affected. Aside from them, they're still my family, and whatever I do, they fully support me, and as long as I'm able to find solution to sustain my current freelance job. Some of the few incomes or other sources that I've got, right, I think firstly is to really thank the government, because they have the CERS for the self-employed people. So that was helped me to sustain for about 3 months. Following that, I took up new skills such as audio editing, and at the same time, podcast was on the rise. So I had a few clients and a few jobs to help me sustain during that period of time. So because of the pandemic, the freelancers or the self-employed group were put in the limelight, and a lot of people were looking at us, and then there was government grants given to us as well. And because of that, there is like more than enough numbers to represent the freelancers group, therefore the creation of VICPA to represent this group of people. In VICPA, they provide us with guidelines in terms of code of ethics for freelancers, as well as providing us with the expertise, the knowledge, the experience, and the guidelines that are required to cater to the freelancers and self-employed in Singapore. They have a lot of resources in terms of like legal like documents, contract and taxes and filing of taxes, which are very much important or like fundamentals for all freelancers, especially if you're Singaporean. So during the pandemic, most of our jobs and our income were affected. So it kind of forces us to learn new skills to be able to adapt to the new norm, having to adapt to the digital space. So some of the skill sets that we need to learn are such as digital marketing, copywriting, so things that will help us to grow our freelance business in the digital space.
My business partner Azurah and I actually make full use of the resources that VICPA has provided us to establish the Freelancers Academy website and also to elevate our profession as freelancers. We adapted our business model and also strategy to circumstances, and as such, we get the attention from mainstream media such as Mediacorp, Berita Harian, CNA, and also a Malaysian podcast called Her Do It. Through TFA, Azurah and I hope to pay forward the help that VICPA has given us and other freelancers out there, because freelancing is a career.